Welcome back out to Mountain Lion Field for Game 2 of this Saturday doubleheader between UCCS and Fort Lewis College. The Mountain Lions did take Game 1 by a final of 6-2. We've actually started the action already in this game. Fort Lewis does have a runner on first base with one out here in the first inning. So let's get to the action. Now up for Fort Lewis is number 72, Lauren Caldwell. Caldwell takes that one for a strike, and it is 0-2. Danae Fisher standing on first base for the Skyhawks has called that one, sends into short center field. Oh, short hopped. Oh, they're going to call her out. I think that ball hit the ground. So the Fort Lewis coaches are going to talk to the umpires about this one. I'm pretty positive that ball hit the ground. It was a good attempt in center field by the UCCS outfielder out there. That's Whitney Weber, who made a good diving effort, but she trapped that ball. The umpire was standing right there. I'm not 100% positive what she was looking at. So right now, Fort Lewis has runners on first and second as the umpires convene at about where the second baseman would stand. And they got the call right, I believe, that time. So a base hit for Lauren Caldwell, and just like that, Fort Lewis is in business here in the first inning. They didn't get any base runners until the last inning of the last game, but now two of the first three hitters are on base, and that's going to bring up Taylor Beeman, who's starting this second game. She did not see any action in the first one. As in the circle for the Mountain Lions, good swing and a miss, good pitch from Cammie Duffley. Excuse me, Cammie Duffy. There's no L in there. Duffy gives up another hit. This one's going to bounce in front of the center fielder, and Fort Lewis here in the first inning has the bases loaded with just one out. Now hitting for Fort Lewis will be number 7, Robin Hall. Again, Hall did not see any action in the first game either, but she gets the start here in game number 2. Hall takes that first pitch for a strike. Oh and 1, Duffy. The next offering. That one bounced to third. UCCS coming home. They're going to get the out of the play. The first, so throw over to first. They're not going to be able to turn two, but they do get the force out at home, and that is now 2 outs here in the first. Skyhawks still with the bases loaded, though, as Hall bounces into the fielder's choice. And Pilar Gutierrez will now step up to the plate for the visitors. She takes the first one for a ball. Gutierrez will start off at second base for the Skyhawks. She sends that one over the UCCS dugout into the crowd and out of play for strike 1. So the 1-1 offering now coming from the Mountain Lion starter finds the outside corner, and Duffy is up 1-2. The 1-2 offering is up high, and Gutierrez has forced the count to 2-2. Duffy sends that one into the dirt. Full count, nowhere to put Gutierrez. So Duffy's going to have to come in with a strike here. As it's 3-2, 2 outs. Runners will be going here in the top of the first inning. That one bounced to short. Throw across in time, and UCCS gets out of a jam here in the first inning. No runs scored for Fort Lewis, despite leaving 3 runners on base. We'll head to the bottom of the first. The Mountain Lions will have their first at-bat here in game number 2 in just a few minutes. Here at the bottom of the first inning, Fort Lewis left the bases loaded in the top of the first, but still no score as the Mountain Lions will get their first crack at Cassidy Trumbo, who will be in the circle to start the game here for the Skyhawks. Trumbo, a freshman lefty, so they're going to switch it up on UCCS as they faced a righty in game number 1. They'll get the lefty Trumbo here in game number 2. The lineup for the Mountain Lions, the exact same here in game 2 as it was in game number 1. Sorry, there is one change. Lexi Anderson will not be behind the plate. It'll actually be Taylor White, but that'll be farther down the lineup. Starting things off is Melissa Martinek, who is up on the count 2-0. Martinek put together a pretty big game in that first one as she scored 3 runs, had a couple of base hits as well as a walk as she takes ball 3. And she did this a lot in the first contest as well, worked full counts in 3 of her 4 at-bats. So obviously no problem being patient up there for Martinek. The leadoff hitter, she takes that one right down the middle for the strike. And Martinek will take that for ball 4, and she starts off this game the same way she started off the last one, with a walk. So that'll bring up Whitney Weber, who, just like Martinek, had a pretty good showing in game number 1. A couple of singles, a run scored, a stolen base. She was on base 3 of her 4 times she was up. She also had a walk in the first inning in the first game of this doubleheader. Takes that one for a strike. Weber, the leading hitter on this Mountain Lion team, as she takes a look at that one. Looks like she was going for a little bit of a slap approach, and she'll take that one for ball 1. So it's 1-1 here on Weber, who will be playing center field once again. The senior bounces that one to short, and it eats up the shortstop, and the Mountain Lions are in business. That was a tough hop. I'm going to give Weber a base hit on that one, as that was a hard one there on the shortstop for Lewis, and that is Julia Roberts there at short. She made a couple of really great plays in the first game there at shortstop, Julia did, but that one just kind of ate her up, and they're actually going to call runner interference? Possibly? Or are they going to call Martinek for leaving early? Because Weber's back in the box, but they called Martinek out. So they must have thought that Martinek left too early, so they call her out. So Weber is actually back in the box. So nobody on base for UCCS. Good thing I wrote this in pencil so we can start over here, as that one ends up in the dirt. So Weber gets the walk, and she is on first base. We'll get caught up here eventually, folks. That I promise you. As Lexi Belligan steps up with a runner on first, Belligan fouls that one off. So 1-0 now. 0-1 on Belligan as she hits that one right back to the pitcher. The throw is wide, and the Mountain Lions, moving over to third quickly. She gets down, and it's safe. Good hustle there from Whitney Weber, who ends up on third after the hit back to the pitcher. Beat the throw to second, and then the heads-up play as the ball kind of scooted away from the fielders. And so Weber is now on third. Belligan is on first, thanks to a throwing error from the pitcher. And now Taylor Reedhead will step up. She had plenty of these opportunities in game one with runners on base. She did come away with one RBI. She had a walk as well. So Belligan over at first, Weber on third, Reedhead with a big opportunity here early. She takes a look at strike one. And make that two straight strikes now. Reedhead wasn't a big fan of that one, but it's going to go against her regardless. And that one's going to be hit to short. Good stop there by Roberts, and they've got Whitney in a rundown between third once again. Back to the pitcher covering the plate. She's going to try and run down Weber, and she will not be able to do it. Great slide from Whitney Weber. The outfielder had her glove on her inside hand. Weber came around with the outside hand, got missed by the tag, and just like that, UCCS has the bases loaded as Fort Lewis cannot get the out. The Mountain Lions have gotten caught down in rundowns between third and home quite a few times today. That time they got away with it as Whitney Weber was able to get back to third unscathed. And so Alex Cook will now have a chance to maybe put a crooked number into the run column for the home team as she's got the bases loaded. Bounces this one to third. Good stop there. Throw at the plate. And another force out at home for UCCS. That's about the fourth today, as the Mountain Lions have not been able to get the ball out of the infield when they have the bases loaded. So that fielder's choice will record the second out of the inning. So now Belligan is on third, Reedhead is on second, Cook is over at first as Rayleigh Glover steps up to the plate, and Glover bounced that one right off of her foot. She felt that one. Give her a second to catch her breath. Looks like Glover's doing okay. So Fort Lewis once again looking to get out of a jam. The base is loaded. And that's going to be strike two now on Glover. As Trumbo, just a freshman, looking to work out of a big pickle. One and two. Trumbo's got a couple of pitches to work with. Let's see what she comes back with. And she's going to come back and not get the call. That was a close one. That must have been just a tad outside. A little hard to see from our angle. But regardless, it is 2-2 with 2 outs. That one's going to be fouled off, so the bat will stay alive. Trumbo, the 2-2 offering. Glover to third. Went off the fielder, and that's going to be a fair ball, and UCCS will get at least 2 in as Cook will stop at third. So Belligan and Reedhead will both score for UCCS. And just like in game one, the Mountain Lions put up 2 early runs here in the first inning off of an RBI double by Rayleigh Glover. So Taylor White, who did not start the last game, will get her first at bat of the day. She swings through the first offering that she sees from Trumbo. White, a sophomore, she'll be behind the plate in this game. Fouls that one off, and it's 0-2. So the Mountain Lions, a good start to their offense once again, as they've got 2 runs and an opportunity to maybe tack on a few more with another base hit here. Trumbo's going to go outside for ball 1. Bouncer to third. Good dig there. Throw over, not in time, and the ball's going to get away, and the Mountain Lions will score 2 more as White ends up on second on the single and throwing error. As Cook and Glover both touch home. And Fort Lewis has had a couple of throwing errors here in this inning that has really hurt them, as they've given UCCS a couple of extra outs, and UCCS has certainly taken advantage of those. Rayleigh Bernard now up for the Mountain Lions. Bernard once again will be playing third base in game number 2 here, this doubleheader. She's got a duck out on the pond in the form of Taylor White. Bernard bounces that one back to the pitcher. No problem for Trumbo. Throw to first, and that will do it. But the Mountain Lions do get 4 runs here in the first inning, and they've got a 4-0 lead after 1. We'll be back with more Mountain Lion softball in just a few minutes. Top of the second inning here, Fort Lewis coming up to bat. They're going to have their 7, 8, 9 hitters. First up will be Emily Selby taking on Cammie Duffy, and Duffy's first pitch is in for a strike. White and Duffy, Taylor White and Cammie Duffy, the new battery for UCCS here in game number 2. The only 2 changes from the first game. All the position players everywhere else for UCCS is the same as that was ball 1. That one's going to be outside. So 2-1 now to Emily Selby. She swings through that one, and it's now 2-2. The 2-2 offering. Right back through the box, and a base hit for Selby. Way to way back on that one, because that off-speed pitch from Duffy was tough, but Selby kept her weight back and timed it perfectly. And she starts off the second with a base hit for the Skyhawks. Now hitting for Fort Lewis will be Kylie Heffley, who came in to start the 7th inning and pitch hit. That was actually her sister McKenna, who did the pitch hitting, but another Heffley nonetheless. As that one is fouled off. So this is Kylie Heffley, number 23. McKenna Heffley, number 15, is the leadoff hitter in this game. And she was the one who came in and drew a walk that started that 7th run in game number 1 for Fort Lewis. As that one's fouled away, and it's now 1-2. Pitch from Duffy, strung through, strike 3, and that is the first out here in inning number 2. So as we mentioned earlier, our resident celebrity is now hitting. Julia Roberts, the only position player to actually play in the same position in the lineup as she pops that one up to short. No problem on the catch. Snap throw to first, not in time, but there are now 2 down. So back to the top of the order for Fort Lewis with McKenna Heffley, who was a strikeout victim to start this game off. Heffley fouls that one off, and we'll get a new ball in play. Once the ref gets a couple of new balls, and here we go. Duffy looking to end the second inning. That one just a bit outside. Heffley grounds that one to third. Good backhand there. Throw across the diamond in time. Out number 3. And the Mountain Lions don't give up any runs. They do give up a leadoff base hit, but Selby is stranded. And after 1.5, UCCS has a 4-0 lead. So the bottom of the second inning here for UCCS, they will start with their 9-hitter and then go back to the top of the lineup. So Celine Quinones will start things off. In the first game, Quinones had a single in the 5th inning. She went 1 for 3 overall. See if she can get this second inning started in the right way for the Mountain Lions. As she looks at ball 1. Four runs on a couple of hits in that first inning for the Mountain Lions. As that one slapped towards second, Quinones not going to quite beat it out as the quick snap throw from Pilar Gutierrez over to first is in time to record the first out. So that takes us back up to the top of the lineup where Melissa Martinek will look to once again get things started. Martinek walked in the first and then I believe was called out for leaving the base too early on a steal attempt. Never got a straight call, but the fact that they sent Weber back to the plate kind of leads me to believe that's what happened. So Martinek takes a look at ball 2. There's a strike to Martinek, and it's 2-1. outside, and once again, Martinek has worked a 3-ball count. She did that in her first at-bat in this game and did it 3 times in the previous game. Leads the team in walks, so no surprise she lifts this one to the opposite direction. Right field, is it going to drop? No, good running catch out there by Robin Hall. So 2 down now for UCCS. And Whitney Weber the lefty walked in the first and then was thrown out at home on a fielder's choice. Weber goes the opposite direction, and it's going to be just foul. Weber, the leading hitter here for UCCS, coming into the day with a .375 average. Her 2 for 3 showing in the first game will probably move that up a little bit. She shows bump, pulls back, and it's ball 2. That one's down low as well, and Weber is also forced a 3-ball count. Cassidy Trumbo, the lefty on the mound for Fort Lewis with the delivery. Weber right back through the box, and that's another base hit for Whitney. Lexi Belligan now up. She reached on an error by the pitcher, bounced back to the pitcher, tried to go to second to get Weber out there, didn't get her, and so Belligan ended up on first and then eventually scored the first run of the ball game for the Mountain Lions. She swings through that one. That looked like just a straight steal, and Belligan was giving her some protection as Weber easily swipes second. Belligan in the hole, 0-1. That one hits the dirt. Weber's gone again. Good throw, but Whitney Weber absolutely no problem taking advantage of that pitch in the dirt. And she will now advance to third as Belligan has a 1-1 count. Bouncer to third, just foul. So Weber has worked her way to third thanks to a couple of steals after a single back through the box, and Belligan, the team's second leading RBI getter, with the little blooper into the outfield, and it's going to fall just enough bat on ball for Lexi Belligan to score. Whitney Weber from third, and the Mountain Lions now have a 5-0 lead. So Taylor Reedhead now up. That's Belligan's 5th RBI on the day. She had 4 in game 1. That liner to third. Good stop there by Fort Lewis's Lauren Caldwell. The throw across, no problem, and that will bring the inning to an end. But the Mountain Lions do put another run on the board as they now lead 5-0 after 2. So the top of the third here at Mountain Lion Field, where the home team Mountain Lions have a 5-0 lead over the visiting Fort Lewis Skyhawks. First up for the visitors will be number 10, Danae Fisher. Fisher, the grounder to the short, no problem there. Martinez across the diamond for the easy put out. So one down on the 6-3 put out. Lauren Caldwell, the third baseman, now hitting, left-handed hitting third baseman. Don't see that a whole often. She goes right through the box under a diving Rayleigh Glover and all the way to the wall. And Caldwell's going to have herself a stand-up double. Wasted no time jumping on that first offering, and Lauren Caldwell smoked it under a diving Rayleigh Glover and ends up at second as the ball rolled all the way to the fence. So that'll bring Taylor Beeman to the plate. Beeman had a single back in the first, with left stranded on second. There's a bouncer up the middle. Good stop there by Martinek, though. Over to first for the out, and Caldwell advances over to third, but there are now 2 outs. And Robin Hall will now have an opportunity to hit with a runner on third. Hall grounded into a fielder's choice in the first inning, and then was also one of those 3 runners left on base. Hall. It's down in the count 0-1. Duffy with another strike. Good spot there from Cammie Duffy on that location as she's got Hall in a hole, 0-2. Duffy goes up high, tried to get Hall to chase, and Hall didn't bite. Duffy looking to end it right here, just outside. Deuce is definitely wild here in the third. 2-2, 2 outs. Swung on a miss, strike 3, and that will be out number 3 as Cammie Duffy once again gets out of a little bit of a jam, not allowing any runs here in the third as Mountain Lions continue to lead 5-0 after 2.5. So we head to the bottom of the third with UCCS up 5-0, and they will welcome Alex Cook, Rayleigh Glover, and Taylor White to the plate. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Mountain Lions. Cook to lead things off. She reached on a fielder's choice in the first and then scored the third of 4 runs in that inning. as she takes a look at ball one. That one's low and outside, so Cook is ahead in the count 2-0. In the first game, Cook had 3 hits, including an RBI triple. She added a couple of singles and a 3-for-4 afternoon, as she's now ahead in the count 3-0. See if she's taking. Called it a strike. It looked like it was a little low from our angle, but strike one nonetheless, and it's 3-1. Cook, line drive down the line. Good sliding stop out in left field, and they'll hold Cook to a single. Good effort out there by Emily Selby to slide in front of that one and knock it down and keep Cook to a long single. So Rayleigh Glover now up. Glover had a 2 RBI double in the first, and then also scored a run as she'll take that one for a strike. Oh, Glover pokes that one into the gap. No one's going to get to that. Cook is going to round second. She's going to end up on third. Good hustle by Glover to get into second with a sliding double. And the Mountain Lions are back in business with no outs here in the third. Runners on second and third. And Taylor White, who had an RBI single in the first, will be at the plate. Almost the exact situation here for White in the third that was going on in the first, with Cook and Glover on base. She came through in a big way. Let's see if she can capitalize once again with an opportunity to add a couple more RBIs to her stat line. Swings through that one, and it's 1-1. White showing bunt early. She'll pull back though. Swings that one, hits it high out into right field, left field. This may be a sacrifice fly. Cook tags the throw home. Good throw just offline, and Cook will slide in safely as Glover moves over to third. So Emily Selby came up with the catch in left field and then put a pretty decent throw on home. It was just a little bit offline. So Riley Bernard now taking ball one. Bernard bounced out to the pitcher for the final out in the first inning. Her first time up. Way up high. Good stop there by McKenna Heffley, who had to go up and make a quick leap out of her crouch to come away without pitch. So Bernard, 2-0. That one's in the dirt, and another good stop. This time Heffley had to go to her knees as she stopped that bouncer in, and it's 3-0. That one crosses at the knees, and it's now 3-1. As Glover continues to stand on third. That one will bounce in, ball 4, and Bernard has a walk. So, Celine Quinones now with an opportunity to add to this Mountain Lion lead. She bounced out to the second baseman for the first out of the second inning. UCCS with runners on first and third. This is usually a time teams put on a steal. Bernard just 1 for 1 on the year as Quinones looks at strike one. Bernard 1 steal on 1 attempt. Wouldn't expect too much, to be honest. Why risk an out when you've got the top of your lineup coming up? As Celine swings through that one, and it's now 0-2. Good drag bunt there from Celine, and she is going to beat the play over to first, and that's going to bring in Rayleigh Glover from third. And UCCS is now up 7-0, and they have runners on first and second. Good drag single there from Celine. As Martinek is up for the third time in as many innings. Bouncer, Mountain Lion runners are going to advance, throw to third, not in time. Sliding in is Bernard. Mountain Lions taking advantage of every Fort Lewis mistake here as they're up 7-0. That pitch in the dirt allowed the runners to advance. And then just enough. Great stop at second base. The flip over to first, not in time. Throw over to third, not in time. But a great stop by Pilar Gutierrez to keep the ball in the infield and only allow 1 run to score as Bernard crosses for the Mountain Lions. And they now have a 3 spot up here in the third. As Martinek gets an RBI single as she beat out the throw over to first. So Whitney Weber, 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and a couple of steals as they put on the steal and the throw down to second, not nearly in time, and Quinones is going to trot home from third for the 9th Mountain Lion run of the ball game. Martinek adds a stolen base to her day as Weber never really offered up at that first pitch. She'll take that one for a strike. Whitney Weber fouls that one off, and she's now got 2 strikes on her. That one's in the dirt as Martinek works her way back to second. Bounced that one, just trying to keep it alive, and she did as she put on the late swing and Hit it towards the Fort Lewis bench. So still 1 ball, 2 strikes on Whitney Weber. The 1-2 offering. Weber going the opposite direction. Selby, a great diving catch out there to record the out. Good effort there from Emily Selby as she comes away with another put out. Selby went right along the line and came away with the diving catch, so that is now 2 outs here in the third for the Mountain Lions, and Lexi Belligan will step up. She's got 5 RBI on the day, looking to add another. She's got a runner out at second, and a quick one in the form of Melissa Martinek. That one's going to be lined over the head of the outfielder. Martinek's going to trot in, and Belligan is going to come into second with a stand-up RBI double. And that gives the Mountain Lions double digits on the day as they now have a 10-0 lead. Taylor Reedhead now, the 9th hitter to come to the plate in the inning for the Mountain Lions, as they put up a 5 spot and still have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. McKenna Heffley has been working hard behind the plate. She came away there with another good stop on ball 1. And Heffley will go out and talk to her pitcher, Cassidy Trumbo, the freshman. Heffley, also a freshman. A lot of youngsters on this Fort Lewis squad. 15 freshmen and sophomores on this Fort Lewis team. So definitely building towards the future. As that one is lined back through the box. Rounding third is Belligan. The throw to the plate's going to be cut off. And Lexi Belligan is going to score as Taylor Reedhead has another RBI. And for the second time in this inning, Alex Cook will step to the plate. Cook in between short and third for another hit. Reedhead will move up to second. And Cook is 2 for 2 in the inning with 2 singles. And Ray the Glover, who had a double earlier in the inning and also scored a run, is back up there. Takes that one for ball 1. Runners on first and second. As that one is drilled into the gap. It's going to catch up in the wind. Oh, it just gets caught on the warning track by Emily Selby, who tracked it down. The wind might have helped just a little bit there. But UCCS puts 6 more runs on the board as they end the third with an 11-0 lead. We'll be back with more Mountain Lions softball in just a few minutes. So here in the top of the fourth inning, UCCS has a commanding 11-0 lead, and Cammie Duffy has all the padding in the world to work with. Starting off the inning for Fort Lewis here in the fourth will be Pilar Gutierrez. Gutierrez bounced out to short for the final out of the first inning. Duffy comes in with one high and tight. And that one will be in the dirt. Good scoop there from Taylor White behind the plate. 2-1 on Gutierrez. As the Mountain Lions get the signal from the bench, look at their armbands and the pitch. Low. That one bounced. Good catch there by Duffy to cut it off and get the throw over to first for the first out of the inning. Now up is Emily Selby, who made a great defensive play in that previous inning, making a catch, diving catch along the outfield line, and then actually caught that last one on the warning track. So she had 2 of the 3 putouts in the last inning. She goes back through the box. Good backhand there at second. Throw over to first is in time. Rayleigh Glover showing off the leather, coming away with a nice backhand scoop and putout. So Kylie Heffley will take a hack now. She struck out in the second inning. Bounces this one to third. No problem there for Bernard across the diamond. 1, 2, 3. Go the Fort Lewis College Skyhawks as they find themselves in an 11-0 hole after 3.5. Bottom of the fourth inning, UCCS has themselves an 11-0 lead as they batted through the lineup last time, putting up 6 runs in the inning. Cassidy Trumbo stays on the mound for the Skyhawks as Taylor White steps into the plate and bloops that one to second for an easy out. So 1 up, 1 down, and Kylie Bernard, who had a walk and scored a run in the last inning, will continue to face the freshman Trumbo. Bernard takes a look at ball one. Bernard now up 2-0. She takes a look at strike one. Bernard had a single in the first game, so she's been on base a couple of times today. Also grounded out and struck out in game number one. Trumbo with the 2-1 offering. Bernard bloops out one into the outfield. First steps were back from the center fielder, Kylie Heffley, but she comes back in to make the easy catch. So Quinones, it actually looks like we may have a pitch hitter as the UCCS third base coach walks in to talk to the umpire. And that's exactly what we will have, as stepping up to the plate will be number 14, Megan Wadler, a sophomore. So Wadler, lefty, will replace Quinones in the batter's box. Quinones went 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the third, and she grounded out in the second. So Wadler, this is her first action in this series. On the season, this is just her 9th game that she's appeared in. Wadler has 9 at-bats, 1 hit. It was a home run, so not a bad way to get your only hit on the season. So this, her 10th plate appearance on the year. Oh, good swing from her, and make it 2 for 10 as she has a single. So with Wadler over at first base, we go back to the top of the lineup. And Melissa Martinek will step in for her 4th at-bat in this game. That's right, she's hit in every single inning in this game, and we're actually going to have a pitch runner over at first, as it looks like Quinones is going to replace Wadler. So Wadler gets the base hit for Quinones, and then they switch on the base pass. That's going to be ball 2. Melissa Martinek on the day is 1 for 2. Has an RBI, single, a walk, scored a run as well. And she takes a look at strike one. Ball 3, and Martinek continues to work the counts deep as she has 3 balls once again. This is the 3rd time in 4 at-bats that she's worked 3 balls from Trumbo. And make that ball 4. And so for the 2nd time in the game, Martinek takes a walk. She will move down to first. Quinones will be forced over to second. And Whitney Weber comes into the batter's box. Weber 1 for 2 as well. She had a single in the second, couple of stolen bases, and scored a run. Then she walked in the first and flied out in the third. Fouls that one off. Quinones at second, Martinek at first, Weber at the plate. Mountain Lions up 11-0 here in the fourth. Weber looked at that one, didn't like it very much, but the umpire did, so it's strike two. Weber down the third base line, it'll go just foul. Good idea from Weber, but Lauren Caldwell was standing right on the line like she expected her to go that way. I mean, Caldwell is half a foot from the foul line, so not a lot of room to work over there for Weber. That one's in the dirt. Good stop behind the plate by Heffler. One and two on the leading hitter for the Mountain Lions. Weber shows bunt, pulls back, gets just enough. Little dribbler to second, throw to first, and that's the third out of the inning. No runs this time around. The only inning so far the Mountain Lions haven't scored, but they're up 11-0 after 4. So we enter the top of the fifth inning with UCCS up 11-0 over Fort Lewis. Cammie Duffy continuing to throw well for the Mountain Lions. The pitching's certainly been the story in this doubleheader for the home team, as they have silenced this Fort Lewis offense outside of a couple of runs late in game one. It has been all UCCS. As stepping up to the plate is Julia Roberts. Roberts lined out to the shortstop, her first time up. That one just a little low and inside, and it's 2-0. Roberts to her counterpart at short. Good dig and throw over there by Martinek, and that's one down. Back to the top of the order for the Skyhawks and McKenna Heffley. Heffley is 0 for 2, struck out in the first, grounded out to third in the second. Heffley pops this one up to shortstop. No problem here. Martinek underneath. The wind took it a little, but Melissa comes away with a catch, and that's the second out. Martinek's been busy. That's 5 putouts she has in this game. Make that 6 putouts she has in this game. As ball one is thrown to number 10, Danae Fisher. Fisher line drive. Martinek can't come up with that one, and it's a base hit. So Danae Fisher gives the Skyhawks some life with a 2-out single here in the 5th, and the left-handed hitting third baseman Lauren Caldwell will step up. Caldwell 2 for 2 in the game. She's got a single and a double. Slowly working her way towards the cycle. Don't think she'll get enough at bats though. Caldwell takes a look. Throw down to second. Good backup there by the second baseman Glover to make sure that didn't end up in center field, as Fisher steals second base. Mountain Lions looking into the dugout for the sign. They've got it. Caldwell takes ball 1. Caldwell to center field, but right there is Whitney Weber for the catch. And the third and final out of this ball game as UCCS pulls off the run rule victory by a final of 11-0 here in the 5th inning. So UCCS sweeps the doubleheader today. They had absolutely no problem here in game number 2 as they earned the 11-0 victory behind the pitching of Cammie Duffy. So the Mountain Lions improve to 18-24 on the year overall. They're 13-17 now in RMAC conference play, and they've now won 5 straight games, 9 of 10 overall, as they hold on once again for the 11-0 victory. Cammie Duffy will get the win in the circle for UCCS. So UCCS earns the doubleheader sweep here against Fort Lewis. They had absolutely no problem shutting out the Skyhawks. They won the first game 6-2, and then the second one here by run rule 11-0. Pitching certainly the story for the Mountain Lions in this doubleheader today, as they only gave up a handful of runs overall across the 2. So Cammie Duffy got the win in game number 2 as UCCS improves to 18-24 on the season and 13-17 in RMAC play. They've also now won 5 straight games and 9 of 10, while Fort Lewis, they fall to 13-31 overall and 7-23 in Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference play, and have now lost 2 in a row and 4 of 6. For everyone here at UCCS, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the softball games. We'll be back with 2 more games against Fort Lewis tomorrow. For everyone, I'm Jason Carter. Have a great day.